All right, welcome everyone to this webinar on BSS OSS strategy. Let's kick off. My name is Henrik Thuren, and I'm a product evangelist here at Netadmin Systems. Let's start off with what we do. We develop and provide our BSS OSS system, Netadmin, that helps fiber operators grow profitable broadband business. We've been doing that for quite a while. We started off in 2004, and since then we have delivered over 100 BSS OSS projects to customers and partners. With this presentation, I hope to share some of the experience that we have gathered while working together with our customers on building their BSS OSS landscapes. And we'll talk about two types of systems and strategies that we often see, the pros and cons of those two strategies, and what our approach is. And the strategies that I would like to share experience in can be categorized as generic multi-industry solutions and best-of-breed solutions. After the summer, there will be an in-depth webinar. And at the end of this webinar, there will be a poll on the topics that we want your feedback on for the in-depth webinar. So we appreciate any input and feedback on that. So let's start off with looking at what we call generic solutions or generic multi-industry solutions. These are the typical well-established brands and products that we see on the market that is used by across a wide range of industries and markets, widely adopted and used. And because of that, they typically feel like safe options. That's what we hear from our customers. They come with built-in generic functionality, so those are some of the pros of these options. Some of the things that categorize these systems is that they are highly flexible because they have to be able to be used in this wide range of industries. So they typically have quite generic core business logic, not industry specific, and quite generic data models. Any industry specifics require customization, and in some cases the core product is only a workflow engine where you essentially build up the different business processes that you want to run on this platform. Even though these systems comes with a lot of pros, given the fact that they are so widely adopted, we have also heard and seen that they come with a couple of cons, and those are often not realized before it's too late. Two of those are the fact that these suppliers, as they address multiple industries, they typically don't have the same know-how and depth of best practices that they have in specific industries like telecoms. And in most cases, due to the fact that these solutions are so flexible, they require extensive implementation and customization projects. Something we often hear from new customers is that they have tried to use these kind of multi-industry solutions. And during these 100 projects that we have made, we identified a number of key success and key failure factors of IT projects in general. And one of the most important factors is, we believe, the size of the project. I think that everyone has been involved in an IT project which has failed or at least haven't met its target. So I'd like to share some research in this area. And an organization that is quite well known is the STANDISH group. This is from Wikipedia. The STANDISH group is an independent international IT research advisory firm. They've been around for quite a while. And they're quite known for reporting on basically the fallout of IT projects and what makes IT projects work or don't work across both public and private sectors. I want to bring up their sort of key work, which is the chaos report that they do biannually. I recommend everyone to look at that report. And what they do is they measure the fallout of different IT projects in different industries and of different sizes. And some of the things that we believe are quite evident here is, as you can see on the left-hand side, we've got a couple of columns here identifying, whether the project has been successful, challenged, or failed, and the rows indicate the size of the product. And this aligns very well with our impression of what we hear from customers is that the bigger the project, the higher the risk of failure is, or at least the lower the chance of succeeding with the project. So essentially, large product, quite high risk, and it's quite often that they're not successful. On the right-hand side, they've made an assessment of the value for different projects. So comparing what you gain from what you put into the project. And there it becomes even more obvious that if you're working with large implementation project, you're not getting the value that you should get. So we believe it's crucial to keep projects down in size. All right. Let's look at the second approach, the second strategy that we often see, and that's a sort of best of breed approach. What best of breed means is that you have individual point systems, and each department can have their own system, often from different vendors. So you can basically cherry pick the best quote-unquote system in each category. So that kind of sounds like a good idea, right? Everyone gets exactly the system they need. Well, the issue is that many of the business processes in our industry are cross-functional. Delivering a fiber-based broadband service involves everything from marketing to sales to the operational teams to, in the end, obviously, billing. And the same is true for many other different business processes like assurance. And because of that, and because of the fact that they involve multiple departments, they involve multiple systems, and this needs to be handled in order to automate the processes. And the way that this is typically handled is that you need to integrate the different systems. So let's say that you have a business process of delivering a service to a customer. In this scenario, this would involve multiple systems. And each integration here needs to be obviously implemented and developed, but also maintained, which is something that you perhaps not really think about when you start off. So let's imagine that we would need to upgrade this system, which is highlighted in black. What that means is that we potentially have to update and spend time and money on re-engineering the 4 integrations with that specific system. This can, to some extent, be mitigated by using an enterprise service bus or a similar solution, but that requires obviously that you invest in another system, a specific system that makes these systems talk to each other. What we often see happening in a best of breed scenario is that it's quite easy to end up in a situation where the integrations are either not done at all, or they are gradually broken down because systems are upgraded and the integrations are not maintained to uphold the business process automation that is needed. And the result of that, unfortunately, is often that you get a disaggregated system landscape of individual best quote-unquote systems that doesn't really talk to each other. They get stuck with their own database of isolated data, so you're not getting the value of combining data from multiple systems. And the business processes that you wanted to automate are not that automated. There's actually quite a lot of manual handling happening in the middle to orchestrate these systems. This is quite well captured, I believe, in this quote from the Ultra Consultant Software blog The downside of a best-of-breed approach is the issues associated with multiple systems, databases, and vendors. So even though there is certainly merit and pros of this approach, we also believe that it's important to understand the cons and the consequences that you might have with this approach. A quote that I also think well captures the challenges with the best-of-breed approach is this quote from the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. And the essence of this quote is that with increasing numbers of users, systems, and suppliers, the overall complexity increases exponentially, which creates a lot of costs that you didn't really think about when you started off these projects, and they are often underestimated and not discovered before it's too late. So that's in essence what we hear from our customers in terms of why using these two types of systems and correspondingly strategies are often challenged. So what's our approach, the Netadmin approach? Well, I think most importantly, we only build our software for fiber operators or broadband industry in general. So it's purpose built for that business. And what that allows us to do is to have some flexibility, but the flexibility that our specific niche or industry needs. It allows us to include industry-specific functionality out of the box that a multi-industry generic solution couldn't include, because it needs to be suitable for multiple industries. But at the same time, we can have the flexibility that our customers need in order to adopt their system to their business model and to their business. Because of the fact that we specifically develop our system for fiber operators and we exclusively work with broadband and fiber operators, we have gained a lot of domain experience, which we are happy to share with our customers. Of course, primarily regarding how to use and integrate Netadmin, our system, into their BSS OSS landscape, but also in general. And also a lot of best practices on how you could quickly structure and develop a BSS OSS landscape if, let's say, that you're a greenfield operator that are just starting off with a fiber business and need a complete solution. Our approach is to have a framework of pre-integrated modules, and it's different modules that allows you to get a complete solution if you need that, but also cherry pick the specific components that you need. And they are pre-integrated, meaning that they work together from day one. They can also work together with other systems, but because of the fact that they are pre-integrated, you don't have to spend time, effort, and money on implementing and maintaining as many integrations between different systems that you would need in, let's say, a best-of-breed approach. Okay, so the idea with this webinar was not to go in depth on what exactly our product does. That's a topic for another webinar, but just to give you a quick overview of what we do. This is the breakdown of Netadmin 9, our latest product generation. And the focus is on service assurance, service fulfillment, and to some extent billing. So we cover everything from customer management, address management, resource management, to the fulfillment related functional pre-integrated modules of order management, service provisioning, and resource controller. For assurance, we do ticket management and service monitoring. So those would be the core capabilities of Netadmin, and you can essentially depending on the kind of systems that you already have, pick and choose which of these capabilities that make sense for you to actually use. You don't have to use all of them. You can use the ones that that you need, and those can easily be integrated using the built-in REST APIs and our integration framework to other systems and frameworks. On top of that, we got a number of add-ons, which I'm not going to go in depth about. You can read about them on our website or talk to us if you need more information. We develop these add-ons together with our customers, and that's also something which we believe is has helped our customers, that they can actually influence directly what we build. So the majority of the product development that we do together with our customers, and that's also because we develop it purposely built for, but also by fiber operators. Right. So thank you all of you who have attended. If you're interested in getting more information on our thoughts on BSS OSS and knowledge on that, we got a blog that you are advised to look at. As I mentioned, there's going to be an in-depth webinar after the summer, and I'd like to try to bring up a poll, and hopefully everyone will see a number of different options soon in the interface, where you can basically click and choose and give us feedback on different topics that we potentially could cover in that poll. So let me see if I'm able to share that one. All right. So hopefully everyone should get a pop-up window now of a poll saying what would be of interest for you in an in-depth webinar. And we've written down a couple of concrete topics, but you know, if you got any other topics that you think that we should go more in depth on, feel free to just write that in the chat, or send me an email, henrik.turin@netadminsystems.com. And in general, we're very interested in understanding what you're thinking about our webinar. So feel free to share your thoughts with us, either directly with me or at info@netadminsystems.com. Should also say that this webinar has been recorded, and if you got any colleagues that you think should see this webinar, we will distribute the recording to each and every one of you so that you can view it later or share it with your colleagues. All right, so thank you for your feedback on the poll. I'll close that one. All right, so that's it. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar, and I hope you have a lovely summer, and hope to see you again soon, maybe on the in-depth webinar. All right, goodbye everyone.